Hall of Honors, you absolute legends, and the 82% who have yet to subscribe, please do. Very, very close to hitting the personal goal. It would be amazing. So, in this video today, we're going to be talking about my future plans for the Howling Griffons. Yes, things are changing. Hello, yes, so things are changing in the foot of my army for Warhammer 40k, and it's been an interesting period, and a lot of things have been learnt, and ticks in boxes have been done. So, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I have been working on over the last year, nearly a year and a half, I've been working on my Howling Griffons project. This was a project that I wanted to do ever since I was a small child, getting into 40k back in the late 80s, early 90s. I'm wanting to paint a red and yellow army. They are super cool. They look amazing on the tabletop. They are a pain in the arse to paint, but I really wanted to do it, and unfortunately at that age I was not able to, so I went to a different army eventually, and obviously in second edition I had a completely different army, and I'm going to be talking about that in a second. But yeah, the army is almost finished. I'm literally not far off to go. I've had this inkling, and this kind of also stemmed from actually playing with the guys who were a little bit more competitive minded. Big shout out to Liam, who is definitely a future Team NI player. I'd be highly surprised if he doesn't get into the Six Nations team very soon. Absolutely amazing player, and I'm learning a lot from Liam. And it was also as well of starting my journey into learning how to play Space Marines properly with the Vanguard Tactics Space Marine Masterclass. And one of the things that's become really evident in my learning of the army and how to play my army is that generic Space Marines straight out the Codex are not very good. Well, they are, but they're not. And you kind of need a little bit more flavour. And so I sort of started looking. I was looking at Dark Angels. I was looking at Black Templars. I really like Space Wolves. I'm a big Space Wolf fan. But I refused point blank to start converting all of these Space Wolves that I would want them to look like. Because right now they're just Ultramarines painted Space Wolf colours. Apart from Ragnar Blackmane, who is a really nice model. So I was like really, really looking at them and thinking, right, what can I do? Because, you know, Space Wolves would be amazing, but, you know, I'm going to have to hold off and wait for them to get their Primaris update. So I looked and looked and looked, and then I kind of landed on a chapter which we're going to be talking about in a minute. So what is happening with the Howling Griffons? Well, I'm going to be finishing the army off, which is going to take many more months. And obviously, I've also got a league, a 40k league, that we're just about to start next week, which I'm going to be doing a separate video on, and I'm going to be doing video logs of my games through the league, because this is all a part of my journey of learning how to play 40k properly. And it'll be good documentation, and hopefully you people will enjoy that content. So yeah, they're going to be around for a while. I'm going to still be working on them and using them and playing them. I need my 40k army. They're the only army I have for 40k for at least the rest of this year, and then probably into the early part of next year. So I will be getting everything finished, and then once they're done, I will be probably either shelving them or I will be offloading them. And I've already had a couple of people interested in taking them off my hands already, which is really, really kind of good. But what will I be replacing them with? That is the biggest question. Right, well, obviously, like I said, I'm very much in a nostalgia trip right now when it comes to my wargaming. I'm kind of going back to the things that I really, really loved as a kid and didn't really do well as a kid. I'm really wanting to sort of tick those boxes of those childhood memories and sort of rekindle my love for the 40k hobby as a whole, and Space Marine 2 is definitely helping with that, and my journey into playing the 10th edition is also going into that. So what am I doing? Well, it's pretty simple, really. I'm going back to this. So yeah, this is my original codex that I picked up as a child in second edition. This is the one that I use for my Blood Angel army. As you can see, it is not the It's not in the greatest of condition. So yeah, I'm going to be going back to Blood Angels, and I've already made a start. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'd have probably seen the pictures of Dante yesterday, and I kind of had a little bit of a bit of text there. And the reason why I'm going back is it seems to be a perfect time. Obviously, they're coming up on pre-order this weekend. The new miniatures look great. There's a lot of character miniatures that I could do and paint. There's a lot of things in the army that I like. I really like close combat armies. I enjoy close combat. I enjoy assault marines. I enjoy melee. And one of the things that I was thinking about is, do I go back to something like Blood Angels or Black Templars? Or do I go to somewhere like World Eaters again, like I did at the end of 9th into 10th, and repaint Angron and recollect World Eaters? And then I was like, no, because if I'm going to do Chaos, I really want to do Emperor's Children. I really want to paint pink and black. So I really want to go for those really vibrant pink colours. So I'm going to hold off on the Chaos side for the Emperor's Children coming out, which is probably going to be sometime next year. So I was like, right, okay, so I want to be replacing my Loyalist Space Marine army with another Loyalist Space Marine army. What is that going to be? Well, Blood Angels are definitely on the top of that list. Dante is a beautiful model. Mephiston is a beautiful model. Lamartes is just absolutely cracking. The army has a lot of variety in it. I can have a very close combat army with a lot of ground pounding assault intercessors, with Death Company, with jump packs. I can have Sanguinary Guard. Yes, there are like Marmite right now. You either like them or you don't, but they're still pretty decent. And the Vanguard box or the Combat Patrol box is pretty decent value. You get a captain, and you know, my idea is to get 3 of those boxes, which will give me 3 battle line units, 3 captains, and essentially 3 units of 6 Sanguinary Guard, which is the maximum you can take, which is really, really awesome because that makes your army lore accurate, because there is only about 29 Sanguinary Guard in the entire chapter, and the most you can field is 18. That is amazing. So I was like, yeah, that's really cool. And I've got Dante as well. So I was like, yeah, this is really awesome. This is what I'm going to do. And one of the things that I kind of miss from my Howling Griffins that I really like about Space Marines is all of the markings, the sort of codex sort of doctrine and markings and stuff like that. Like, one of the things that I really like about the Ultramarines, other than I like painting blue, and the Ultramarines are not that bad. I know a lot of people give them a lot of stick, but one of the things that I quite like about the Ultramarines is the codex elements to it, like the sergeant helmets, the different squad markings, the company colours, and everything else. I think that's probably a part of me because I was an ex-soldier. The sort of the iconic, so the icons and the regiment sort of stuff, you know, that you kind of have your regalia. Like, I was a member of the Household Division, you know, the guys that stand outside Buckingham Palace with the big nice red jackets and the big fluffy hats. So a lot of this sort of the visual stuff, the regiments and the buttons and in the different sets and how to visualize and identify different units from what they're wearing is kind of something that really appeals and interests me because of my time in the military. And it's one of the things that I can't really do with the Howling Griffins because they don't really show it. Like, I've added black helmets and the white stripes for veterans and stuff, but, you know, their first company guys pretty much wear the normal helmet colors. The lieutenants and everything else, they kind of do the same. So without me actually making this up, which is not something I like to do when I do chapters like that, is I kind of was like limited myself. So with the Blood Angels, I get to do all of this. I get to do black armor for the Death Company. I get to do blue helmets for Devastator or fire support units. I get to do yellow helmets for assault units. I get to do gold helmets for veteran units. I get to do all of these really cool elements in the army to make it look really, really cool. Yeah, and it also means that I can collect different styles of armies in the Blood Angels and ultimately sort of variety that. So I can have a very close combat orientated army with lots of intercessors and assault intercessors with jump packs with their yellow helmets, led by captains and chaplains and, you know, Dante and Sanguinary Guard, all variously differently coloured and all of the different squad markings on their knee. And then I can flip that and do the intercessor tactical element with the red helmets and all of that kind of stuff, and then throwing in your Hellblasters with your blue helmets, your Gravis armored type guys, your aggressors and stuff with their blue helmets as well, and it really it's cool. And I've got quite a few banners in my bits box, which means I can really sort of lean into that second edition aesthetic, which means that I can start putting things like the yellow gun barrels on and stuff like that. So it's going to be cool. Yeah, so I'm really excited. I'm pretty pumped for starting it. Now, I am going to be trying to do this as close to the box art as I possibly can. So I really want to up my level of painting on the army as a whole. And that's the reason why I'm going to start them now. Pick up a couple of units and start painting them up now. One of the things I'm going to need is the upgrades kit to start painting and building up a couple of assault units. Because once the combat patrol comes out, I'll probably get one of them painted up. This is also correlating, sort of siding up with a friend of mine who we both want to do a crusade. So we were both talking about starting a new army each and then sort of painting up that sort of 500-point combat patrol type box, playing a couple of games with each other, and then progressing from there. So I'm going to be over the next few months doing that and obviously working on that and helping me motivate while finishing off the Howling Griffins. So if you are interested in picking up the Howling Griffins once they're done, I will be doing a full video, and once everything is fully painted and everything else, you know, feel free to reach out to me and we can have a talk about the price and everything else. That will obviously include the full non-metallic Guilliman as well, because, you know, I've got Dante and the Sanguinor, and I don't really need Guilliman. So, you know, you can that'll be a part of it as well. So it's going to be really cool, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, this weekend is really interesting because obviously we're going to be getting some previews, and I may end up probably starting a second army at some stage next year, or I will probably be picking up an avatar because I really want to paint an avatar. So we'll have to be seeing about that. But yeah, I'm super stoked for this. Like, I had a lot of fun playing these back in the day. I really enjoy playing Blood Angels. Blood Angels are one of my favorite chapters. Even like when I was a kid and I played things like Space Hulk Space Crusade, I would always try to be the Blood Angels team and play them because they were super cool. You know, like they're blood red, they're vampires in space. They just look so awesome. And yeah, so they're a really cool chapter. There's a lot of really cool elements to them. So yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I've even started changing my Space Marines in Space Marine 2 to look like Blood Angels, which is super cool. But that is the video, everybody. If you want to support me in any ways, please hit that subscribe button. Like I can't stress how amazing it is of all the support I've had of late, and how close the channel is getting to my personal goal. At the beginning of the year, or at the end of last year, I did a sort of roundup of the year video, and I set my personal goal of hitting the channel at 3,500 subscribers. I think we're about 34 away from that, which is nuts, absolutely nuts, and we're only in October. So, you know, I would really like to hit that by the end of this month, and then really sort of push by the end of the year, get as close to 4,000 as I possibly can. It's really been amazing. It's been a fantastic journey. And I'm going to be doing, obviously there's going to be the League video as well I'm going to be doing up shortly. So if you want to sort of see more of my journey into 40k, then yeah, please hit that subscribe button. You can also like this video. You can drop me a comment and let me know what you think is the best Space Marine chapter. You know, no judgment if you pick something like the Imperial Fists. Crimson Fists all the way, peeps. They're the OGs, not those Imperial Fist imposters. Yeah, and we can have a conversation there, and obviously like, share, and all that good stuff. You can check out my members area and my Patreon if you want to support me in other ways. But thank you very much for all the support, and it's going to be epic. I thought I'd just do a quick update video on what I'm going to be doing because it is quite a big plan. Yes, the tutorial for the Howling Griffins is still coming. So, catch you all, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.